In this tutorial, we will add a user login and authentication to a new ASTL template layout. We will update the charity registration module by adding the user authentication. We will do that by updating our web.xml using an in-memory database for our users and creating a login page and servlet for our user authentication. We will test our application extensively with a comprehensive set of scenarios. We will also add a logout feature by adding it to our login servlet and a link to our template JSP page. And we will incorporate that into our overall testing strategy. And now going over to the course documentation, to the section on using custom JSTL files for enabling logging. We have a link to the official documentation on form-based authentication. Then basically we add an entry to our web.xml and an in-memory database to store users and our login servlet. So here is what we update in the web.xml. And here is a view of our new login servlet. We see this is our in-memory database and the logic in our do get page, as well as in our do post page. Then we have our login page with a post action. So when we go over to Eclipse, we will follow our testing program. And in our login servlet, we also have the logout logic. And now going over into Eclipse, first we will review our tags. We have the main tag, and we see we use a style sheet. We have a sidebar cell with a JSP fragment named navigation content, and then we have an actual content cell. If we go to our basic tag, we see we have the navigation content, which contains the menu to list the charities, to register a charity, and to log out. And then it also has the body. And then we also have a logout tag, the login style sheet, and the navigation content. Now let's look at our login servlet. We'll add a debug breakpoint here. We'll test if the user is already logged in. And we'll do the same in the post method. So let's debug it. Step over, and we forward to the login page. Here is our login page. And we will choose one of the users in our in-memory database. We've hit another breakpoint. Step over, gets the username, it gets the password. Step over. Now it checks if the user is in the database and it has the correct password. Forward to the login page. So our mistake there was the green with a capital So we'll try it again with a lowercase. Step over our username, our password. This time it finds it in the database. It sets the session attribute and forwards to the registration servlet. And now we are in the registration servlet breakpoint. And here we see our familiar layout, except that now we have the left menu and the central screen. So we'll select register a charity. We'll choose a file and submit. We hit the next breakpoint in our charity registration servlet. View registration. And here is the registration number 1 that we've just created. User, body, and attachment. And when we've created it, now we can list our charities. Here is the list. And finally, we can log out. And it takes us back to our login page. And that concludes this tutorial. I will see you in the next one.